Hey, hi, Lisa Marie here, and happy holidays! Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Easter, Happy Mother's Day, Happy Father's Day, Happy 4th of July, right? There are a lot of holidays throughout the year that can pose a challenge to us after we have had weight loss surgery. So I wanted to share with you a couple of tips and tricks that I use and things that have stuck in my mind and what I do. First of all, the morning of whatever holiday it is, there's usually something that offers some kind of a run, walk, 5K, 10K, things like that. I suggest you looking and you finding that and you finding one that is walker friendly if you're a walker or you haven't done anything in the past, because it makes you start the day off good and feeling good and successful, and you're already on the right path to doing something successful. So this morning we did one, and look at this really cool medal. Doesn't that look like an oven? And look at this. What? The turkey rotates in the oven. Is that crazy? So I suggest that if you don't have something in your neighborhood where you can actually do that, then go to the gym, get on the treadmill, walk in your house, walk up and down your driveway, walk around the block, something. You want to get in at least 20 minutes, if not 30 or 40 minutes of some kind of walking, just to kind of set your path on the right path for the day and your eating. So my tip for you is, what I wanted to show you is how normal plates are, and if you're like me, what my normal plate is. My normal servings max is this, which is actually a 5-ounce container, but really 2 to 3 ounces is my max. And I carry these little empty things. This is a 2 ounce, this is the 1 ounce. I carry these with me empty like this so that I can use. I even have this size that's kind of like a bowl. And I like the clear because if you're eating at someone's house and you want to have your little container, you know, on their fancy little plate, it at least still shows the color through it. But a lot of us aren't that brave and we don't think that far ahead. So whether you are eating on paper plates or real plates, I kind of have some suggestions for you. Most people have something like this, a serving platter or a charger, and they put the chargers under the big old humongous dinner plate, right? To kind of give extra color and things like that. But look at my hand. Look how big that plate is. And remember, God gave us our hands as a measurement for our portion control that's free. And we have it with us all the time. So I know for me and my portions, I actually use this plate, or I have one a little bit smaller that I use. And look at the difference. My whole hand, there it is. And this is my portion for my tummy. After surgery, this is my portion. I usually do 2 fingers of meat and then vegetables, and I try to keep it this size. Sometimes this, if I'm going to have a little bit of starchy thing going there. But this is like a size that is a normal size, right? So if you're at someone's house, and first of all, don't let somebody else serve your plate, because when they serve your plate, they're serving it to their eyes and their tummy, and they're going to use this size. They're going to use those big, humongous serving spoons, or even the bigger ones like they have at catering things. Look how big these are. And if you've been watching me for a while, this is my normal spoon. And if you're fortunate enough to find a place that carries, I don't know what they're called, they're like hors d'oeuvre silverware, and they're little tiny spoons and little tiny forks, and look at the difference. This one is still bigger than my pinky nail, right? It's more like my thumbnail. And that is too big of a bite, really. But if this is what you can use and this is what you can visually gauge, that you're only going to have this little spoon level or half of it, then there you are. But if you're eating off of a normal spoon, like most of us are, and especially when you go to somebody else's house, you're only going to focus on the tip right here, the tip of the spoon, which is your pinky width, not this whole thing. That's way, way, way too big of a bite for you. So here is kind of a thing. Look at the difference. If you're using this as a serving spoon to fill up this plate, and you don't want to make the host feel bad and whatever, all right, you're going to put your protein on, you're going to put your vegetables on, you're going to put a little bit of carb on, and you're going to have several different things. But that doesn't mean you have to eat what's on the plate. You can be strategic. And what I mean is, by using your spoon and your fingers and your hand, here's a tablespoon, remember? You can use this as a guide. So pretend this is the plate and it's filled with these size of helpings all over it with this. So it's kind of my size. What I do is I push bites around that are the tip of my spoon. So I know, okay, there's a couple of protein bites. Here's a couple of vegetable bites. Here's maybe a potato or something bite. And even though the whole plate is full, so if somebody else is serving you and the whole plate is full, you can play with your food and put around little bites, right? And if you just focus on either the outer edges or the middle, I personally do the middle because it stays warmer longer. And you know, we have a problem waiting so long in between the bites that it all gets cold here on the outside. The other thing is, if you go to somebody else's house and you're serving yourself, which is even more awesome, and they only have these big plates, you scout around and you see where the desserts are. Because where the desserts are, they're either going to have this or they're going to have this. They're going to have the little dessert plates. If you're even a little bit luckier, they're going to have these plates, which are the cup and saucers for the coffee and tea after you've eaten, right? And if you look at this, it has an area in there. And if you stick to that area, look at that. That's the same size as the middle of my hand. That is your portion. That is my portion. I've gotten pretty brave in my experience of a year after surgery. And if the host has a plate like this, and I notice these plates somewhere else, I go grab one of these and I use this as a charger. Because I really don't want to make people feel uncomfortable, and some people care and some people don't. But look, that fits in the middle of the plate, so by the time you have your food on here, in your little center, it's not going to look as lost on the plate. And it's good for you because you know you're keeping within your portion, right? Now say you're at their house and they're having different things that are in bowls. And, you know, they've got the big old hunkin' bowl too. You could do the same thing. If they're giving you a big salad bowl like this, but you notice over on the dessert table that they've got cute little things like this, look at that. You're still keeping the beauty of their plate and their decoration, but you've got your portion in there. If you're brave enough like me, bring these with you. Bring some glass things with you because it can be seen through and not distract from everything else. It's just what I do. Maybe they've got the little plastic ramekins. Maybe they've got fancy little things. And if they've got stuff like this around for the dips and stuff, secretly go ask the host or hostess if they've got an extra one so that you can keep it, you know, good for you. You have to speak up for you. You have to stick up for you. You're your only advocate. So during the holidays, you have to do what you need to do to be successful because you want to be successful in this healthy journey, right? I know I do. These little plates are awesome too. And look, it can fit on there so that you're still feeling like you're partaking in what everybody's partaking of, but you're keeping it small. You're keeping it into your portion. Instead of imagining this is your portion here on that big plate. People are going to question you. People are going to mock you. People are going to wonder what the heck's going on. And unknowingly, they're going to try to sabotage you because they're going to think you're not eating enough. Whereas if you had this amount of a serving on this size of a plate, look at that. Look how much better that is. And using your big plate as a charger, it just makes more sense. It's what I do. It's what I've been doing for a year. And now my friends and family are totally used to it. And it's just what I do. But it's really difficult with these serving spoons, even these, it's really difficult to monitor and measure that you really only need, remember, there's 3 teaspoons in a tablespoon, and your whole meal might only be 6 bites, 7 bites. I now get about 16 bites. They're not of these. It's not even of this. It's this. So, I want you to be successful. I want you to understand that this isn't a short-term journey. This isn't a short-term diet. This is something that you're going to be doing now forever. Every family gathering, every holiday, every potluck, everything, every buffet, every time you go out and you are eating with other people, these are things you want to do. You use your hands. Use your pinky nail to know that's your bites. Thumbnail at the most. This is a tablespoon. You're part of your thumb here. So you know, really, if you go look at all of the food and you know your whole meal is about 2 or 3 ounces, that's like 3 or 4 tablespoons. Hello, if you put this much on your plate, what are you going to try to do? Fat brain, fat bully is going to try to have to finish this when this is probably your whole serving. So, I want to encourage you that it is possible. It is doable. And it is doable, and you can do it, and you can be successful, and you can stay on track, and you can ward off having regain or being uncomfortable and stuffed over the holidays by just don't trust your eyes. Don't trust the silverware or the plate. Get the smaller plate. Get the dessert plate if you have to. I always get the dessert plate. And when they have tinier dessert plates, I'm in heaven. And if it looks like people are looking at you and they say something like, oh, is that all you're going to have? You go, oh yeah, and this is plenty. I will, my portions are just smaller now. And they kind of watch you. They kind of look. But even on the charger, look how much different that is. And it's not as lost. It doesn't look like you're not having as much food as everybody else. You're not being deprived. You're just controlling the portion. Okay? So, my helpful hints for you are, use your fingers as your guide. Put the food on your plate, but then rate your food. Go around and rate it, taste it, rest between the bites. And if something didn't taste good, don't put it in your body. Throw it away. Leave it on your plate. Give it to the dog. Whatever. Don't put it in your mouth. And if something is in your mouth and you don't like it and it's not tasting good, even though your brain thinks, oh, in the past, that was the most amazing stuffing ever, which I don't do the breads and stuff, get a napkin. You can get 2 napkins. Hello, you can get 3 or 4 napkins. And you just, like you're enjoying that bite. Wipe it in there, fold it up, stick it down in your lap. When you get up to go do something, toss it in the trash, get a clean napkin. Hello, you can do this. And you don't have to be obvious, and you don't have to be rude. but you do have to protect yourself, and you do have to listen to your tummy. So that's my helpful hints for the holidays. It's what I do. It's what works for me, and hopefully it'll work for you too, okay? Happy Thanksgiving today. Merry early Christmas and Happy New Year and all the other holidays that happen throughout the year. But right now with Thanksgiving, I thought I would share this. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for being a part of this journey with me. I am very, very grateful and very thankful. And I hope you all have a great day. Bye.